For the past 2 weeks, I had been bogged down by both work and being sick, so I did not have time to write notes for the shows, let alone make videos. Hey everybody! So, I'm finally back. Anyway, I'm very glad to be back, and I'm very excited to be doing this review because this is a very special and important film. So today's review is on the film Logan. Logan is a 20th Century Fox and Marvel Entertainment film set in the X-Men universe. For those of you who don't know, Logan is the given name of the Wolverine, the pop culture icon known for his adamantium claws, accelerated healing factor, and his feral nature. Logan takes place in the future, approximately 2 or 3 decades after the most recent and somewhat decent Wolverine film. It's in a time where no new mutants have been born in decades, and they are seemingly gone, even extinct. The film follows Logan, who is now making a living as a limo driver in El Paso, while sharing a homestead just on the other side of the border with Professor Xavier. Both mutants are going through tougher times. For Logan, age has finally got to him, and his healing rate is not as strong as it used to be. And for the Professor, he suffers from a degenerative brain disorder. Their lives are turned upside down when a former scientist seeks out Logan. She hires him to escort her daughter, Laura. Now, Laura is a mutant who happens to be tied to Logan in a certain way, but I will not say the reason why, because spoilers. Anyway, she hires him to take her daughter to a rumored safe haven for mutants in northern United States. For this review, as I always do with my other reviews, this will be non-spoiler, so if you have not seen the movie, you don't have to worry about anything. Logan is the most different of the X-Men movies. Sure, you can include Deadpool into the matter, which that one was different from other ones, but I don't necessarily consider it part of the X-Men films, just it's in the same universe. This film does not feel like your run-of-the-mill superhero/comic book movie. This is a genre film influenced by those great Western films of the 50s to the 70s, such as Shane. It emulates the same measured pacing and strong storytelling of the pre-blockbuster era. If you are going to see this movie because you want to see Wolverine immersed in brutal and bloody R-rated combat, just know that you'll be highly satisfied. But if you're worried that the amount of violence in the film will be too much, even to the point where it'll become a bit distasteful, you don't need to worry. Director James Mangold alternates these scenes with quieter, even more intimate scenes. For Hugh Jackman, he has always been a terrific Wolverine. This is by far Jackman's greatest portrayal of the character that launched him into stardom, and that's because he doesn't hold anything back in this film. He is able to take Logan to his most violent and sadistic extremes. And with this being Hugh Jackman's swan song for the role, this was a fitting conclusion. And while Jackman takes Logan to a much-needed extreme, Patrick Stewart is allowed to delve into the sad and broken side of Professor Xavier, which is, at a lot of times, just utterly heartbreaking. For both actors, they have some of the greater moments of their acting career in this film, and I am sad to have to say goodbye to them. Let's not forget about another standout performance in this film. Newcomer Daphne Keane plays Laura, the young mutant that Logan has been tasked with protecting. For those of you who are familiar with the X-Men comics, particularly the standalone Wolverine comics, you've probably already guessed who she is just from watching the trailers. No spoilers for anybody who has no idea what I'm talking about, but for those who have an idea, she is who you think she is, and she's fantastic. Laura is mute in the film, but Keane is able to express her character through her facial expressions and her body language, and I couldn't have been happier with her performance. Keane is definitely able to hold her own while in the presence of powerhouse actors such as Jackman and Stewart. The 3 main characters, their chemistry in this film is unmistakable. I especially love the interactions between Laura and Logan. For the film's main antagonist, we have Boyd Holbrook, who plays Donald Pierce. Pierce is the leader of the Cybernetic Reavers. They are a mercenary group who do the dirty work of a bioengineering corporation. Pierce's job is to capture escaped mutant creations, including Laura. While I was only mildly interested in the character, I did love Holbrook's performance as Pierce, and I look forward to seeing him in his next theatrical role. I'll go ahead and mention the behind-the-scenes villain. His name is Xander Rice. He's a bioengineer that actually controls the Reavers and Pierce. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. He was a throwaway villain to me, so that's all I'll say on the matter. The film does not solely rely on practical effects, but it doesn't use too much CGI, so it works out in the long run. There's still a little bit of CGI throughout the movie, and there's a couple of scenes where the CGI does look like CGI, but since the film has a smaller budget like Deadpool, I don't necessarily hold it against Fox or Marvel. I just wish that they had spent a little more time on the CGI to make it a little bit more realistic. Like I said, very small nitpick. There are a few scenes in this film that have heavy CGI and are edited beautifully, and that's whenever the professor has a seizure. And no spoilers on what exactly happens. I'll leave that for you to discover. There's another favorite part of the film for me, but I won't talk too much about it because it will spoil a few things. But there is a part where it may feel like a horror film dream sequence to you. And when I found out that it was not a dream, my body filled up with dread and even fear. The fight scenes are devastating and beautifully choreographed. Definitely the best that the X-Men universe has given us thus far. The film is perfectly balanced with humor, action, and dysphoria. As with Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight, which is, in my opinion, the greatest comic book movie of all time, you can shed the costumes off of these characters and you'll still find a great story. With The Dark Knight being a cop and mafia movie, and Logan being a futuristic Western-influenced drama. In conclusion, Logan is a near-perfect film. If this film is not in my top 10 list of the year come December time, then this year will be a signature year in cinema. This is one of the greatest superhero/comic book movies ever made, and I'm not even sure how to rank it. I don't know whether to put it above or just below Dark Knight, but only time and multiple rewatches will tell. And with The Dark Knight not being nominated for Best Picture the year it came out due to the fact that they could only have 5 Best Picture nominees, and because of that we ended up getting a possible total of 10 each year, if Logan is not nominated, then there better be 10 films that are way better. And I'm personally hoping that it at least gets nominated in other categories, say Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, visual effects, sound mixing, sound editing, stuff like that. Anyway, that's all I have time for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. Subscribe to my channel for more movie reviews and help support the channel, because the more support I get, the more often I can make videos. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.